Good evening, guys. Hope everyone is enjoying their weekend. Um, Today, I want to talk about cognitive dissonance, right? I remember one time, this is several years ago. I was actually a teenager, but I was about 13 or 14 years old, right? And I was out in service with a sister, right? She was preaching to this guy, and he said, hold on. He said, a loving God is going to kill me? He said, I'm a hardworking man. I have a wife and kids. He says, I mind my business. I'm a good-hearted person. He said, why would a loving God kill me? He says, I mind my business. I just go to work. I spend time with my family. Why would God kill me? I was 13, maybe 14, right? I will never forget that. That's something that stuck with me all these years. I said to myself, you know what? He has a point. I said, hold on, he's right. Like he's technically not bothering. He's not doing any harm to anybody, right? He just wants to keep to himself. Why would a loving God kill him? That makes no sense, right? And that's something that always stuck with me, right? Cognitive dissonance. I'm over here. I was out there preaching one thing, right? To the world, preaching, God's message to the world, and yet deep down inside, I feel like I always knew that a loving God wouldn't do that. He wouldn't kill innocent people just because they didn't want to serve him. Because that wouldn't be a loving God, right? So if you're a witness watching this, I'm not here to bash witnesses. I'm not here to make fun of witnesses. I'm just trying to help you to see things from a different perspective, right? Now, if you're a witness watching this, put yourself in God's shoes for a second, right? If you was God, would you honestly need all of mankind to serve you and then threaten them with death if they didn't want to? Now, if I was God, I wouldn't need people to serve me. I would want my children on earth to just enjoy life, of course, be peaceful. Keep the peace, right? Of course, keep the peace. But I wouldn't need them to serve me. I wouldn't be that egotistical of a person to have people either serve me or die. What? A loving God wouldn't do that. A loving God wouldn't do that, right? Now, also think about this for a second if you're a witness watching this. There's so many people out there, right? There's so many non-believers, so many people out there with really good hearts, right? They're not witnesses. They're not witnesses. Now, let's say there's an atheist out there, right? Who have pure, unconditional love for mankind in general, right? Let's say they help the homeless, feed the homeless. They help anyone and everyone that they can, right? Do you honestly believe that a loving God would kill that person and have a witness who doesn't do none of that live forever on a paradise earth? And no offense, but what makes you so special that you would have to live forever on earth? But someone who's an atheist that has a really good heart and goes out of the way and help people, feed people, right? Give money to the homeless. That God's going to kill that person, but he's going to save you, and you do none of that? Like I said, that wouldn't be a loving God. That wouldn't be a loving God, because a loving God wouldn't do that, right? Think about something else too. And I said this to someone a while ago, right? I said this to someone, a witness a while ago. I asked them, I said, if someone's out there in the wilderness, right? Because some people like to be isolated. Some people just want to be left alone. They may have a dog or a cat, right? And just keep to themselves and living in the middle of nowhere, minding their business, right? Do you honestly believe that a loving God is going to kill that person? What if they have social anxiety? Some people don't want to be around other people. Some people just want to keep to themselves, right? Nothing wrong with that. They want to be far away from the rest of the world, right? Which I can respect, right? They want to be far away from the rest of the world, keep to themselves. They may have a dog or a cat, and they're fine. They're content like that. They're happy. They're peaceful, right? Just like that. And let's say they have social anxiety. They don't want to be around people. They're minding their business. Do you think a loving God would kill that person just because they want to keep to themselves? They're not doing any harm. So witnesses, if you're watching this, just ask yourself, would God do that? Because if a loving God can kill an atheist who goes out their way and helps homeless people. They feed homeless people. They show love to everyone. If a loving God can kill someone who lives in the middle of nowhere, just want to be left alone, right? They may have, like I said, some social anxiety, whatever. They just want to be left alone. They're minding their business, but they're a good-hearted person, right? Would God kill that person? And last but not least, like I said before, put yourself in God's shoes. If you was God, would you be that egotistical? Would you need people to serve you, to worship you? And if they don't, oh, you're gonna die. If you don't worship me, you're gonna die. Would a loving God say that? Would he do this? Think about this. Please think about this. Like I said, I'm not here to make fun of you witnesses. I'm not here to bash you guys. I'm just trying to help you see things from a different perspective. And to remind you that God is love. God is love. He accepts people for who they are, right? Whether you're homosexual, whether you're an atheist, whether you're Baptist, Catholic, whatever, right? I truly believe that a loving God accepts people for who they are, right? And I try to mimic God in that sense. Try to mimic God in that sense and accept and love everyone, right? But yeah, if you're a witness, just please let this sink in. Let this sink in. And like I said, I'm just trying to help you see things from a different perspective. And just keep in mind that God is love, and he will not do that. A loving God wouldn't kill 99% of Earth's population so a small percentage could live. Especially when there's a lot of good-hearted non-believers out there. There's a lot of good-hearted people that are not witnesses. All right, so that's enough of my rant for today, and I will speak to you guys on the next video.